Rejection. We've all had to face it at some point in our lives. Some of us more, some less. The truth is, it never feels good. And I would hate for you to feel bad because of the words or actions of someone who ultimately doesn't matter. All that should matter to you is you. So today, let's rewrite that story of yours and give you your power back. Choose a calm place to sit or lie down, and let us begin. As you rest here in this comfortable place, perhaps you are curious as to just how and when you will go into trance. And of course, I don't know exactly when this will happen for you. But I do know that very soon you will be ready to surprise yourself by taking a mental step back to watch your thoughts. And perhaps you will see those thoughts on the wings of a butterfly, flitting from flower to flower as thoughts do. You can be concentrating on something in particular when another thought enters your mind, which then reminds you of something else, and your butterfly mind is all over the place as you relax even more deeply. One moment it settles on a fragrant flower, and then suddenly it spreads its gossamer-like wings as it flies up in the air, performing its dance in the warm summer sunshine before landing again on a different plant. Even now, as you are listening to the sound of my voice, you could be thinking of something else at the back of your mind. And as you watch the butterfly coming and going, you might be surprised to discover that trance can happen all by itself. Let yourself continue watching that beautiful butterfly as you relax the muscles in those feet that are resting there side by side. And I wonder which one will relax first, and whether you will now notice a difference between them. Perhaps one foot feels slightly heavier or warmer than the other, or will they both feel the same? Keep watching the butterfly. Notice its colors. Is it a yellow butterfly? Or is it a rich, velvety brown? Or it could be red, or purple, or a mixture of colors. Once you have identified the color or colors of your butterfly, I wonder if it will remind you of something else that is the same shade or hue or a mixture of shades. Or maybe you will see the colors changing as they go deeper. And notice now how your butterfly has landed again as your legs relax and feel heavy. And notice now that those legs, being that relaxed and heavy, is such a comfortable feeling. So much so that now you want that same relaxation and heaviness to spread up into your thighs and hips and stomach. So that relaxing, comfortable feeling does spread up, and you find your thighs and hips and stomach are also relaxed as your mind flits wherever it will, just like the butterfly. Did you notice the patterns on the butterfly's wing? Some parts contouring the edge of its wings, and then diagonal lines spreading out from the center of its body, forming delicate, wavy patterns that are filled with even more color. And the center of your body is also relaxed. Your breathing is steady and calm, and those muscles feel loose and limp. And even your chest and arms are relaxed and comfortable, still and beautifully relaxed, as your butterfly mind is getting too tired to flit here and there and just wants to rest. And those arms and hands are relaxed and comfortable, resting here, just like the rest of you, feeling too heavy to move, too heavy and comfortable to even want to move. So, quieten your mind. And as your mind begins to still, so you notice those facial muscles are also relaxed. Your jaw, which is often tensed, is now comfortably relaxed, as are the muscles around your mouth and your nose. And And those eyes are closed lazily and effortlessly, but they don't want to open. They don't need to open yet. You know where you are. You know you are safe and comfortable and relaxed. And it's such a nice feeling to experience this heavy calmness and relaxation. Even the butterfly has gotten tired from flitting around and decides to hang upside down for a while on the underside of one of those flowers, folding its wings as it does so. And you are resting here so calmly, so peacefully. And it's so nice to be still and not have to think those butterfly thoughts. As you drift lazily, effortlessly down into your own beautiful abyss, softly cocooned in a warm, velvety cloak. I will be quiet for a few moments. All will be quiet and still. And in the silence that follows, take yourself just as deep into trance as is right for you at this time. And when you next hear my voice, you will not be surprised. You will remain in this deep and beautiful trance, just ready to follow any suggestions and work along with me towards transformation and progress. Your subconscious mind, as it always does, will intuitively know the best way forward for you. You are now feeling completely relaxed from the top of your head all the way down to the tips of your toes. And your mind is open and receptive to all the positive suggestions you are going to hear. I know that for a long time now, you have been troubled by a fear of being rejected. I don't know how or why you have felt that way, but your inner mind knows everything that has ever happened to you. It knows every thought you've ever had. It knows every feeling and every emotion you have ever experienced. All is recorded here in your wonderful subconscious mind. And today, with the help of that magnificent subconscious mind of yours, we are going to go back in time to the very first time that you felt that way. We're going to go back and change any negative conditioning that led to your fear of rejection. And we are going to help you feel more confident instead. So let us begin. We are going way back to your earliest memories to explore your earlier childhood. Just allow your mind to drift and wander back in time. As you do this, imagine yourself in an attic at the top of a very old house. The attic has a sloped, beamed roof, and there is a window looking out onto the city beyond. It is almost midnight, and the moonlight is flooding through the window, illuminating the attic with its silvery glow. As you look around, you notice there is an old chest here in the attic. There is an old chest and a child's rocking horse and a small bed with a canopy. There are toy soldiers and a rag doll slouched in one corner of the attic. They look rejected too. Outside in the city is a tall clock tower. There is also a river that winds around the town like a ribbon of silver in the moonlight. Further into the distance, you notice a bridge and a rolling countryside. The clock tower is beginning to toll the hour of midnight. As it strikes the first chime, you notice the clouds drifting over the moon, transparent in the moonlight, and you find your mind wandering gently back to earlier times. The clock strikes a second time, and a soft, gentle breeze wafts into the room through the slightly open window. You find your mind going further and further back with each strike of the clock. And at the third strike of the clock, you notice the sweet, heavy scent of lilac in the still night air. At the fourth strike, you hear the sound of a cat meowing on a wall below. And on the strike of 5, you notice the sound of a car going by. It sounds its horn in the night. At the 6th chime, you walk over to the window and look outside, noticing the stars up there in the night sky, twinkling away. As the clock strikes 7, you notice stardust floating into your room, filling it with a golden glow. And at the 8th chime, your body begins to feel light and weightless, and you feel as though there is no gravity holding you down. At 9, you begin to float out of the window and into the city beyond. The 10th chime sounds very distant and quieter now. On the 11th chime, you find yourself going all the way back in time to your childhood days. And on the 12th chime, you are back there, experiencing the highs and lows of your childhood days. Remember good and bad times alike, but in particular, I want you to find a memory from your earlier life that is linked to your current problem. You are remembering a time that you felt rejected in a way that was going to affect you for many years to come. But as this memory comes to mind, you find you can see it as though you are looking from a completely new perspective. You are aware of your younger self, and at the same time, you have the insight and understanding of the adult you, the wiser you that you are now. And I want that adult you to go back to the child you that was and reassure or do or say whatever you instinctively know needs to be said or done. Whatever your child needed at that time, give it. Give your child love and warmth. Give your child attention and understanding. Tell your child that you are your own best friend. And as you remake friends with yourself, an amazing thing begins to happen. You realize that you no longer need to fear rejection from anyone in the whole world, because you accept yourself. That's right. You are your own best friend. You understand with clarity and wisdom that there will be times that people reject something you say or do. But you also know that this is not really you who they're rejecting. It is the same as if someone suggests something to you that you really think is a bad idea. You say so, perhaps more tactfully than some people would, but you are certainly not rejecting that person. You are only rejecting the idea they are putting forward. And more, you are beginning to like yourself for the wonderful person you are. You accept yourself. You are kind to yourself and you are kind to others. you find you don't need to be worried about what others think or say about you. It really does not matter what they think or say, as long as you, yes, you, accept yourself. And you do. So, as long as you are true to yourself, you don't need to please others. If they don't accept the way that you are, then that is their problem, not yours. You begin to see situations with more clarity and understanding, and you no longer fear being rejected. You have a lifetime of experience and ideas to put forward, and if others don't agree with your views or ideas, it is no big deal to you. You accept that sometimes others will disagree with you, and this can help you to grow and to learn and to understand more about how they see the world. You realize that it doesn't necessarily mean that your ideas are wrong. Perhaps they just don't fit in with their own agenda. Of course, there may be times when your ideas are out of line. So if and when they are, you reconsider or refine your previous way of thinking, or ask for feedback and constructive criticism. You are not afraid to put forward your own opinions anymore, because you see that you have just as much right to them as does anyone else. When you meet new people, you automatically expect that they will like you because you have given them no reason not to. Go forth in all your endeavors with that innate confidence, because, again, there is no reason not to put forward your best self. And if others don't welcome you with open arms, you accept that they may have good reason to be cautious. Perhaps they have been hurt or let down, or maybe they are preoccupied with other things that are going on in their lives. If that happens, then you respond appropriately without taking offense. You find that the majority of people will welcome you into their lives, so you approach them with genuine warmth and a smile, and try to find common ground to talk about. As you drift deeper into hypnosis, I want you to go back to your inner child and do or say whatever you need to do or say. Reassure your child that you are fine as you are, and there is no need to fear rejection. Your inner child was, and still is, a sensitive being. But at times, perhaps, it was a little too oversensitive. Give your inner child positive advice and allow your child to see that sometimes other people weren't always in a good place, and that was often the reason they appeared to reject you. And now, I wonder if you can remember times from your past when you weren't rejected. I know, you know, and your inner child is also aware that there were many times when you were welcomed into the company of others. It is strange how we often seem to remember the negative times in our lives. But here, in hypnosis, you are now remembering other situations when you were openly accepted and your company was even sought out. I will be quiet again for a moment, and I want you to explore 3 separate times when you were accepted by someone else. Take your time and have these beautiful memories come forward. That's good. And now you know there is no rational reason to fear rejection. Your old fear was an emotion blown up out of proportion until it seemed magnified in your mind. But you are now open to the reality behind that old feeling. And you know there is nothing and no one to fear. You begin to see yourself as an equal to others. You are a good and worthwhile person, and you are happy to approach people, whether you know them or not, and if the situation is appropriate, with a warm and welcoming smile. You see that people have no reason to reject you, and if they have no reason, then why would they reject you? People like people. Most of us are a very sociable species, and everyone likes to make friends. As your confidence increases, that old fear of yours fades, and you find yourself receiving more invitations to join in with your peers. And your confidence is increasing. Every day you approach at least one new person with a smile or a warm word. Perhaps you just wish them a good day or ask how they are. Maybe you pay them a compliment or offer help when they need it. Sometimes These encounters lead to a full conversation, and at other times they don't. And if they don't lead to anything else, well, that doesn't matter, because it makes you feel good to be nice. In a few moments, we are going to return to the here and now. So I want you to thank your inner child for coming forward today. Tell your inner child it will always be here to reassure or comfort or simply encourage. You will do or say whatever needs to be done or said. But for now, bid your child farewell and know in your heart of hearts that you are just as good as anyone else, and others have no reason to reject you. And in just a few short weeks, you will find yourself looking back on the old, fearful you and wondering why on earth you allowed yourself to fear rejection. And these changes are already beginning to take place and will continue to do so long after the session is over. In a moment, I'm going to count from 1 to 3. And at the count of 3, these suggestions will be firmly embedded in your subconscious mind. You'll be coming all the way back to the present time and a normal level of conscious awareness. Mind and body relaxed and alert and focused on all the good things in your life. 1. Slowly come back to your normal state. 2. Your pulse and blood pressure get the optimal values for you. At 3, you open your eyes or go back to sleep, depending on your decision. You feel great, better than you have in a long time. You feel content, relaxed, and completely refreshed. 3.